Whatever you do, don't flinch.
Only shooting stars break the mold.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Brawl Stars. I'm Amy the Amazonian, and today I'm playing with Ko the Face Stealer. If you lose your cool in front of him, he'll be taking your identity, taking your face, stealing it, and using it for himself. When he enters, he exiles a creature, any creature in play, and then you can pay 1 mana to absorb the activated and triggered abilities of that card, so Ko can have those abilities for himself. And if more creatures die, you can choose to exile them and gather up those faces for your collection. This deck has a lot of ways to steal faces and also kill your opponent's things, so there's more to take. This deck is very similar to my wrench deck, my black cat deck, because I found that being able to take your opponent's cards in various forms is kind of good no matter what. This deck is going to be making our opponents discard so they can't get early advantage, maybe wiping the board, sacrificing things and bringing them back, and of course reanimating from either player's graveyard. This deck is doing a lot of what mono black mid-range wants to do, which is ramping up to these threats and then executing them. Unlike a lot of control decks, though, we're not running that many board wipes and we're not running that many planeswalkers, because it's a lot more fun to get to take abilities with Ko than just sit there and stare at an empty board with nothing to do. So let's take Ko the Face Stealer into the queue and see how many identities we can collect. Lumra, Bellow of the Woods, is going to be sacrificing a ton of lands, self-milling, and then bringing all those lands back, which is why this is a nice hand. I have an opposition agent right here who can maybe prevent them from tutoring for some lands. I think I can just save this grief for later on in the game and go for turn 2 Terminus, turn 3 opposition agent, because they almost certainly have every single fetch land that they can justify running. Whether those are Evolving Wilds or actual fetch lands, we're gonna try to hit them. This person says they are Melon Lord. You don't look like Toph, you look like Azula. I'm going to object to that statement with Falco Spara. See, look! Fetch. Ooh, but they're gonna be playing so many lands so fast. There's one right there. Terminus of Returnimus. I guess I could grief here. I probably could have griefed on turn 1 too. There's a Phoenix Wright emote. It's Falco Spara, who's also a lawyer. Yeah, we got really good emotes over time, like Will seeing the math, Giada going into the bush. Aren't those supposed to be playing voice lines? I don't hear voice lines. Ooh, it's the Rumble. They hit 2 lands here. The Nectar Pot and a Genesis Wave. Yeah, Lumra is a very, very strong mono green commander, especially if you're not really able to interact with the abilities, which, yeah, only half the avatar emotes have voice lines. They used 2 different ones. They used Penguin, the Otter Penguin sledding, and the I am the Melon Lord. Aw, man. I wish I could have had this out for it. Yeah, so far, no searching available with me having this. I guess we're just gonna chill. Hoping they don't play a regular land. Maybe they'll play a fetch land. Sort of a fetch land, but not one they're going to be fetching with right now. Oh, you want to search your library? Hold up. I love when you search your library. Thanks for not just playing Lumra there. I get to search their library. Yeah, this person's having fun with their avatar emotes. Alright, which of these do I want? I like a good bird. You know what? They were probably going to go for the sacrificing lands. Because then you could sacrifice all your lands with, like, Lumra's ability on the stack and bring them back. So we see an Ice Till Explorer and Nature's Claim. Those are both very spooky cards. It's just the Ice Till Explorer that I don't want to see. I'm gonna grief it. Griefy beefies. Yeah, Exploration is a ridiculous card. Kind of like how I think Dark Ritual should be banned in this format. I think Exploration should probably be out too. So Lumra can come out next turn and, well, grab all of those lands that are in the graveyard. I can't do anything about that. The Windswept Heath at least is a lot less useful as long as I have Opposition Agent in play. They can't really use the Nature's Rhythm, so it's not the worst. It's just a big scary bear, which I can exile with Ko. Or make them sacrifice with Liliana or Speedbrood Stalker, since stealing their ability doesn't actually steal their abilities here. Gonna go for Speedbrood Stalker. You have to sacrifice a creature. Oh, I wonder which one it will be. Yeah, Ko is an interesting card where it's like, my opponent does not have creatures whose abilities I can really steal. This isn't enter the battlefield, so it is triggered, but it's not triggered in a way where Ko would be taking it. They can also just put it back in the command zone. All right, there's an Azusa, Pawk, couple of elves in there. Good to know, good to know. This time I'll go for Ko. Flameo, hot man indeed. And while Lumra is refunding an awful lot of its abilities, having Ko out does have another advantage. If they, for example, found a way to kill Opposition Agent, I could then exile it with Ko and steal the triggered ability. Actually, this is not technically triggered. It's just a replacement effect. Oh yeah, it wouldn't work. Well, here's the good news. We cut them off from their fetches with Opposition Agent and won the game. You can gain some life, right? Okay, Archdruid's Charm. You get a creature. I get a creature. I'll take your, I don't know, Beseiju. That's a nice one. And even though they could gain some life by destroying their own exploration, it's not enough to survive. GG. Bristly Bill Spine Sower, a landfall commander that gets scales, putting +1/+1 counters and then doubling them. There's a lot of other abilities that work really well with Bristly Bill too, because, you know, Scythe Cat Cub exists. So let's see what they got here. Explore and Turn Timber. If I hit this, I'm essentially hitting their third land. I'm gonna hit the Turn Timber, yeah. They only have 2 lands in hand. So doing that kind of feels like making them discard a land. And now we ramp, because part of our strategy is making it so we can actually cast our commander. Ko is able to steal activated abilities and triggered abilities, like Bill's, but because this is their commander, they're just going to make it go away. Stealing something like Provisioner could be good, or Kogla's on attack ability, or even his rescue ability. But we rampin', because we need to get to 6, and green is good at getting to 6 mana. Black, unless you get Dark Ritual, not as much. So here's Barragoyf. Currently a 1/2. The more things that end up in graveyard, the stronger it gets. It'll do some self-milling. It'll do some recursion. Oh man, am I actually going to get to take the Tireless Provisioner? Taking the Goldvein Hydra ability could be fun. By the way, you can steal multiple abilities off Ko. You can, like, stack them up. He just has to switch faces one at a time. Ooh. Hissy. Ko it is. Hitting that Tireless Provisioner and then swinging in with the Barragoyf. And I'm not going to be paying the 1 life yet, because they might just play Kogla next turn and trade with us. In which case, I wouldn't be getting a trigger anyway. Is this like Duel Commander? It is like Duel Commander. Also, nice secret tunnel. Does anybody here share types? Not really. Yeah, so that's why I didn't pay. Koga trades with Ko. Ko and Gla. I'll leave that in the graveyard. Just so there's a creature in the graveyard for Barrowgoyf. Snake swings in. And I have a feeling I'm going to be playing this shouldered. But first, swing for 4. Mill for 4. Opposition agent and Gonti. Definitely going to be opposition agent. We know that they're going to have like land tutors. But my priority right here is kill Lotus Cobra because mana scary. They have 5 cards in graveyard. I'm getting pretty close to flipping Shelly. You want to make a big Hydra? It can swing for 5, but I'm just going to exile it. Oh, Nykthos. Whee! Oh, and can totally activate that. We mill 4. And we win. Got these mono black beaters taking out their cards. Marina, Vendrell, a 5-color enchantments deck. I noticed this deck runs into a lot of enchantment decks, which is kind of terrible for me because black doesn't have many ways to deal with enchantments. We are able to hit graveyards though with things like the Void Walker and reward ourselves with those graveyards off Tiny Bones and Barrowgoyf. While they're gonna be making some room for rooms. Bloom Tender. Tragically, with no way to kill it here, I'm gonna name Spirit. That's what my commander is. It's a Spirit. I'll swing in with Tiny Bones. I don't think they'll block. This, by the way, will tap for 5 mana when their commander's out. Key to the Archive. And they probably have some graveyardy stuff, but I don't think I need the Void Walker if I have this ramp. So I'm down to drop it and keep... Ooh, maybe Counterspell Electrolyze would kill that little guy. But I have enough mana for Ko next turn, so I could just, you know, steal its face and use it to tap for mana. Sure, it would only be black mana for now. That's not terrible. I don't mind black mana. I'd probably rather swing for 6, though. Alright, whose face are we stealing here? Whose face are we stealing? Yours? Yours? That sure is 2 blue mana being left up. So I could play Ko. Or I could double spell. Okay. I'm gonna play this Barrowgoyf first. Swing in with my good friend Tony Bones. Storm count of 1. So they just want to turn my Barrowgoyf into nothing. I am actually down to counter that and save the Goyf. Because I assume they're hitting this. Yeah. They could have retargeted this, but I know what you want. Is it time for Marina? Contestant champion first. Enchantress's Presence. Okay, that draws them a card. I'm gonna grab that Bloom Tender. Now I am Bloom Tender! Tender of blooms. Let me hit. Ayo, girl, let me hit. We mill, and there were no creatures. That's fine. Also, now I have a blue permanent. Oh, you could tap for 2 mana. Yeah, they didn't have 5 different colors of mana for Marina last turn because of the forests. What's that for? A Swords to Plowsharing this. Path to Exile. They're doing this in upkeep, so I could technically tap it for mana, but I don't think I'd be using it for much. Because I don't have any instants in hand. I'll grab a swamp and put Ko back. Hello, I am once again Ko. I'm a Setessan champion now. If I can get some enchantments to enter the battlefield under my control, I can draw cards and get big. If I choose to, you know, steal that face. Barragoyf gonna do some mono black stuff. Yeah, of course I want a mill. Did I hit a critter? Boo. But like, yay, it's a 6/7 now. That's what the kids like, right? Yeah, Ko the Enchantress. They're discounting their enchantments. And exiling. Are you going to hit Ko or Barragoyf? I think you hit Barragoyf. Okay. Because this isn't enter the battlefield. I'm just going to keep on getting. Roaring Furnace. Oh, they do have room. 1, 2, 3... 4, 5, 6. So they can't kill Barragoyf. Oh, no, they can! Because of the trigger here. Oh, nice. Okay, so that's dead. I can bring it back. Hala Hala gets Brawler. They're going to draw 2 more cards. Get some more mana. Sanctum Weaver draw 2 more cards. I don't quite have Ko mana because Ko costs 10 now. So I'll go for Shelly. They can sacrifice one of these. An Emperor of Bones. Full control mode is going on here because I do actually plan on exiling from my own graveyard that Barragoyf. And then, before declaring attackers, I need to adapt. Too bad it wasn't the other Sholdred. Oh yeah, the card draw punishing one. It's in the deck. As you might imagine, it's in the deck. And I'm swinging in for 6. I'm up to 39 life. They have 5 cards in graveyard. If we get them up to 8, I can Kerflippy. Archivist is more card draw. How many enchantresses do you need? All right, do you make a copy of the Weaver for like infinity mana? Yeah. Unfortunately, the Archivist does not understand opening rooms. Just enchantments entering. Double the triggers, double the fun. And a bottomless pool! You should return Tiny Bones to my hand. For fun and profit. They're putting my bones in the moon. Attention everyone, they're putting my bones in the moon. How much mana do I have? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Alright. Speed Brute Stalker. Which of these do you think I'm going to hit? The token or the real Sanctum Weaver? Yeah. And now I gained all this life, so let's start getting some of it spent wisely on black market connections. Isn't that the plot for the Dead Space games? That there's bones in the moon? Moon's haunted. Moon's was haunted by skeleton kings. Alright, my stuff will enter tapped and they'll gain life. They're also getting life off Sithis. They draw, they draw, they draw. Things are happening. Double triggers. Glassworks can kill Speed Broodstalker before it starts swinging. Honey? Cat just walked in. In and then out. My bones! How dare you? Tap it for 11 mana. Yeah, okay. What you got? What's gonna mess me up forever? You got a curse? Okay, Hallowed Haunting. Good news, not a curse. Bad news, it's Hallowed Haunting. Cards in graveyards can't be the target of the spells or abilities. Aw, man! In Dead Space, it's the bones of astronauts who never made it back because they were replaced by alien doppelgangers. Oh, so there's a bunch of fake astronauts. Bones. A foyer. There's so much happening here. Well, they only have 37 cards left. And they do still have a maximum hand size. I think we go for treasure and card draw because it's kind of board wipe or bust with all these birds up here. All these flying spirits. Hey, Gonti. Maybe I can steal one. Treasure, draw card. Mm-hmm. You'll gain 2 life. Yeah. Wanderer and Kami of Bamboo Growth. How come I get the garbage? Man! Alright, is that a deluge? No. You gained some more life, and we're gonna die. Hey, at least I got to do some crime. Until they undid all the crime. Sometimes Enchantress decks, they just go off. Please attack me. Did I miscount? Is this not lethal? 6 times 6. Yeah, like before that, I'm pretty sure it was lethal. 6 times 6 is 36, and then 37. Okay, they're just... a little bit of game action addiction. It happens to all of us. Firelord Azula. This is such a cool card, allowing you to copy things in combat. This hand has potentially a turn 1 Barragoyf. Not that that's that impressive when they might be able to kill it, but it's still worth doing. You got a Dark Ritual, you use it. I am, by the way, a person who thinks that this should be banned in this format, but as long as we have it, we're going to keep playing in every mono black deck. And let's swing in, dealing 1 whole damage, milling 1 whole card. If it's a creature, we get it in hand. It's not, but it was a sorcery, which means now this has 2 power. Yeah, I imagine this deck's gonna be a bit of like tempo stuff and the goods. I'm going to offer them a present, a card drawn in exchange for a card stolen. In exchange, they are going to Dark Ritual. I assume this is to use removal on Barragoyf, maybe like a Baleful Mastery. Perhaps you're so purry. No big score. They discarded Time Warp. Oh, yeah, I would have stolen Time Warp. That's so real. These are all problems, especially because I'm, like, kind of trying to steal here. Venser, Tails End. I'm going to hit the Tails End for myself because having access to counterspells isn't something we normally get. But this is stealing. This is bouncing. I actually wonder if this is my Azula deck. When I see the crime in there, it makes me think, like, oh, this could totally be my version of the deck. Because, like, almost everybody will have, like, Dark Ritual, Time Warp, big score. Not everybody's going to be running, come on, there we go, Triumphant Getaway. I think people know I have a problem, and the problem is that I love putting crime cards in decks. Scraps, do you like crime? And it has Thieving Haven. Okay, it's totally my deck. That's so funny. That's so real. Just keep milling. Just keep milling. Ooh, Opposition Agent. I'll take that. Now I can hold this Tails End. Play Tony Bones. I'll play Mr. Bones. Let them heist from me, possibly. No, I don't blame people for being like, you made Azula into a crime flash deck? Of course I did. I make every deck into a crime deck. This is a crime deck. Legit, 3 of the cards outside of my commander that you see right here are crime cards. I have a shtick. I wonder what they stole. Oh, the black market connection? They still have 3 mana up. I'm gonna bring out the Opposition Agent. You could crime, so you do crime. Trying to see around my cat. It's very difficult. She's very in the way. Coligan's Command, Opposition Agent, and hitting my hand. I guess I could drop Wrench here. Because again, they have this, so stealing cards means they might be coming back. I want to see what I mill. All right, Sheoldred. Can play this as a land and use Sheoldred to kill the Thieving Haven. Black market connections, they can pay up to 6 life, though their life total's getting pretty iffy. They still paid the 6. They can gain life back off of Triumphant Getaway. But right now, like, Azula has not been able to attack. They haven't had a haste enabler. And they're 1 short of an overloaded Cyclonic Rift. Let's see what they steal. They have the potential to gain some life, stabilize, or they have the potential to get bopped by my critters. You think Scraps has never been in the way, not once in her life? Ooh, okay. They're killing the Barrogoyf. Sheoldred's definitely going to get to hit them. Tiny Bones could trade with the Shapeshifter. But as a reminder, they have to pay at least 1 life. I can make them lose life. And I can also stop a Venser. They're thinking about it. They're stinking about it. Scraps, are you stinking about it? That's all she ever does. Oh, she is really, like, soft and warm, though. She's kind of trained me to just give her treats by going up on the desk. Like, of course I deserve treats for doing the horrendously difficult task of sitting in front of the camera. I didn't train her to do this. She trained herself because she learned that people like it when she shows up and she gets treats. Is this a rope? Ugh, I had an Azula rope me, or not an Azula, an Azusa. Wasp of Seeking broke me earlier when I was playing this deck. I get it. Mono black is salty. But don't we all like a good salted pretzel on occasion? No? Just me? Boop. Alright, their timeout's gone. Here's a Shouldred. No, I'm good. Bye, Scrap. Yeah, she got her treat and she left. She's like, see you suckers later. Rude. Would you like to draw a card and die? You could bounce it with Cyclonic Rift. They know about the Tail's End. This is from Cruel Cause Heist, so they saw me take it. But it doesn't matter because they're salt roping. Which is... I didn't even get to steal any faces because they didn't... I didn't get enough mana for it up until the end. Yes, salt roping the person you copied the deck from. Like, I know this is mine. It's got Triumphant Getaway in it. Oh well. And they're gonna lose the game. They draw a card, they lose 2 life, and it's over. Toph, Greatest Earthbender, has a 1-hit combo with Inkmoth Nexus. I guess I can keep this hand. It has 2 lands, but it has like the turn 1 Fatal Push or Thoughtseize. Oh, that'll work. In case they try Rampant. All right, let's see what they got here. Landfall, Nissa, Chain Lightning, Minsk, and Boo. Well, that's a lot of real spooky stuff. I think I'm going to start by hitting that Traveling Chocobo. Chain Lightning's removal. It can trade with like the Douthie Voidwalker. I could give them that as a target. And this is going to be making double striking land creatures. So like these 2 Planeswalkers can beef those up or make other animated lands. One of my ideal circumstances is being able to Fatal Push one of the Nissa lands. Oh, and the more mana you spend on Toph, the stronger she gets. If I do this, it will just go back under their control. Still worth it. Griefin. I want to hit that Minsk and Boo. The land creatures will still get double strike because of Toph. But this is not an earthbent creature. Ooh. I could trade with her. And sadly, like, the earthbent creatures just go away. And even if I did have the ability to, like, play this, I wouldn't be getting the ability. Because it's not a creature. Oh, so tragic. Too bad this is not an untapped land, so I can't make them sacrifice the mountain. Ooh, Shadow Sphere. Gonna give trample to those double striking lands. Good stuff, good stuff. Now it's time for that Lily. They can animate Mutavault and sacrifice that instead if they'd really like to. No, they're just gonna drop that. I'll play the Guardian Idol. And I am at Co-mana next turn. Not that I don't think I have any targets for it. Yeah. They're attacking Liliana. Destroying their land meant they didn't have mana for Toph. Oh, they could have had mana for Toph. They would just rather kill. Which, fair. Makes sense. Oh, Razor with a stick. I feel like I'm chump blocking next turn anyway. I'm gonna go Terminus Gray Merchant over Co. Co hitting Arboreal Grazer. Yeah, they want to get a land so they can have Toph, like, Earthbend on something that can also attack on the turn. At least, I would imagine they would want it. Yeah, there we go. And that's also Inkmoth Nexus. They do not have enough to activate it and Earthbend it this turn for the kill. Which means I probably just take the hit from it if I can and just go to 1. We'll see. Now, it's like, it's an OTK next turn anyway if I don't hit it with Co. Yeah, I'll just hit it with Co. It'll go back under their control, but it won't be big. Oh, I could do that instead. Okay. The boring answer! Top decking a board wipe. And I have mana, so I guess I could bop. Since I wouldn't be blocking any of those. Yep. Yeah, sometimes you'll notice that, like, it'll be an activated ability, like on a land, but it's not a creature, and then you have to choose a creature card with Co. Hey, you stole my opposition agent. Rude. And you gave her a stick. I guess I'll steal that back. You work for me now, opposition. You worked for me before, too. And I had checked before. This is not a triggered ability. It's like a replacement effect, I think, where you are controlling your opponents while they're searching their libraries. Rude Astronomer. Wow. Astronomer is going to get them a planet. You sacrifice a land and exchange it for one of 3 different planets. They might not even be in your colors. Yeah, he's enforcing a non-compete. They can still bot me for 1. Ooh, 2 even. 2 poison. Bonk. No damage, yes poison. Monkey! Hello, Ragavan. Yeah, I have 2 animatables. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Bonk. So we have the Hive of the Eye Tyrant and the Guardian Idol, but I also have the Terminus. Since they're swinging with everything, I'll probably go for the blocking. Then again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I didn't do this. I can get Gray Merchant back next turn. Yeah, I'm just gonna let that hit happen. Hopefully they just steal a land. Ooh, the Slasher! If this dies, it actually comes back under my control. Owners. Stealing the Ragavan triggered ability? I know. Tempting. But I'm harnessing the Soul Stone! I'll grief first. Good grief. And then I actually steal Brood Astronomer because it's tapping for mana. I can play that. Should I hold it? Yeah, probably. Am I gonna? Nah. Now I can tap for mana. I love how it's like, yeah, eventually I guess you'll get poisoned. Sure will. Give it a while. Yeah, like, should I have held the instant speed removal? Yeah, probably, because that gives me a way to, like, stop this. I don't want to stop. I want to steal. Doggy! It's a good dog. Very good dog. Mm-hmm. Yup. Oh, for real? Chonk! Alright, I have 12 damage. 14 damage. Oh, that's so close. Close but no cigar. Now with that land, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Station, so this will tap for 3 instead of 1. Does that get them enough? If I could block with Grey Merchant and have it die, I could kill them with Rebirth. I mean, swinging wouldn't have made a difference. This has Summoning Sickness. Oh, I see what you're saying. You're saying I could have gotten them down to, like, 7 life? Yeah. So they're able to Earthbend this, but they can't pay the activated ability? Oh, wait! Where did that come from? Oh, they had a Beseiju in hand! Bad news, everyone! They got a land, and I did not keep this in my hand. GG, Toph. Troyan, Gutsy Explorer. This is a Simic ramp deck that has X costs and mana value 5 or more. I feel like Troyan is usually the more budget... What is it? Kinnan deck? But you do see him occasionally, because, I mean, he taps for 2, which is neat. He also can loot. Oh, nice Birds of Paradise. I will moida the boida, as is our duty. Hash Slinging Slasher. Perfect. And here comes Troyan with 1 blue up, or 1 green. Probably blue. I want to swing in with the Slasher. Because if I hit with this, it's dealing like 12 damage. Hold up, are you gonna protect this? No, he's just gonna die. Okay, well, I was gonna kill Troyan anyway post-combat. I just wanted them to use, like, a protective spell if they had it. Hello, Simic Ramp. You have ramped, I have destroyed your ramp. You have ramped, I have destroyed your ramp. I didn't get rid of your Arcane Signet. I don't have any way to do that. Ugh, Hawk. Immediately, a land is falling. And immediately, I will murder this cat. This way, they're not going to get another trigger off this on my turn. But they are going to have 2 lands for the price of 1. Also, no blockers. Hee hee. Yeah, I'll attack with the Guardian Idol. I don't have a spell to cast here. If I had 1 more land, I would Thought Distortion them. Nice. Down to 9. Down to 8. Down to 7. You hate Unstoppable Slasher. It's a ridiculous card. Trying to beat this in draft was so frustrating. Because you have to like either have exiling removal, which there wasn't that much of, or you had to kill it twice. Twice in quick succession. Succession. I know words sometimes. Hey, Troyan, you want to come out? I think the last couple times I played against Troyan, it was just like they ramped and then like Coma killed me. Or I just beat them before they managed to do it. Ooh, Ornate Imitations. 4 random creatures, a 1, 2, 3, and 4. One of them was a Feral Hydra. That was their 1-drop. Winding Constrictor, Ravenous Harpy, and the Bag End Porter. You're going to notice I'm looking at them carefully because I need to know which one of them I could steal. Okay. I mean, you're not a +1/+1 counters deck. I'm gonna hit the one that, like, would be the best blocker and actually does kind of have a cute a triggered ability. It's like, yay, look. It would get 1. Yes, I will exile both of their cards. But not this. I mean, not that I'd be able to. It's already back in play. Yeah, of these abilities, which one would I like the most? I think Bag End Porter. Because I can make this a lethal swing. They have 6 mana. That's enough for River's Rebuke. Are you, Are you doing something about it? Can I steal your face? Hey, Troyan, you coming out here? You want to block? What's the vibe? Oh my god, I see. Okay. Poe is still gonna get the ability of the Bag End Porter. And look! A non-legendary creature! The Guardian Idol! Also, I don't need it. I just have 2 more damage there. Chi-chi. Toph, Greatest Earthbender. Having some instant speed removal is a good way to stop them from bopping you with big, double-striking lands. Also, notably, because they Earthbend, if I exile one of their land creatures, it will actually just return back under their control. If it's a land creature that wasn't Earthbent and animated to something else, I will get it under Ko, but I won't be able to use it to tap for mana because it's not a creature. It's a land card, which it doesn't work. That's what it says on the card. It says it doesn't work. I'm ramping. Hi, Toph. Emerald Medallion. Okay, some discounts. Field of Ruin could be good at stopping some of their stuff. I am going to lick their minds with the Thought Stalker Warlock, also known as the Mind Licker Lizard. That was apparently its working name. Make them discard. You've discarded an elf. Wait. You chose not to Llanowar Elf. Okay. Hit a tapped land on turn 1, so I guess that's fair. 1 mana Rampant Growth gets them a forest. I want to make big Llanowar Elf. My big crimes. Herd Heirloom. Ooh, that can give trample to the animated lands. You can name Spirit or Human or anything like that. Rogue. What are you? You're a human noble. Let's go Elder. I have a couple other humans in the deck. I have nothing to hit with Ko here, though. So I like just holding up Field of Ruin and Fatal Push to be like, if you want to Earthbend, you gotta Earthbend on this. By the way, discounting Toph's mana is kind of bad, because if you spend less mana on her, you get a smaller land creature. Mm-hmm. What do you target? It's like we're earthbending. Nothing at all. I also have this fatal push. Up. No earthbending, no problem. Oh, look, and I still have a bitter triumph up, too. Overlord of the Bailmark. They don't have a creature for me to hit, so I'll just cast that straight up. Tony Bones, Boggart Trawler. I'm gonna take the Boggart Trawler, so I have a land. Yes, Overlord of the Bailmark got me a land, but the land will get me an Arden. If they play a creature worth hitting with Ko, I'll hit that, but like, for the most part, they're not playing creatures. They might play some small ramp creatures. Okay, here comes Toph. Toph's is gonna be able to bonk me for 10? I was gonna say 12? Nope, I'll take 10. I don't have a problem with taking 10 damage. Mm-hmm. It hits twice, which means they'll also get to draw 2 cards. As long as it's not the OTK combo with Ink Moth Nexus, I got some survivability and some killing Toph ability. Alright, if I take Arden here, I get Tiny Bones, and I would be gaining life. I'd rather do that or just exile the land. I kind of like exiling this land here. Not Toph, because Toph is sure giving lands double strike, but like, I guess Bossing Say is their Earthbend card? No, oh my god, Ironcrag, nobody has ever wanted that from you. No, let me have that. Tony Bones! Oh, I should be manually tapping. It did not leave open 1 black for my bones. I've transformed this on purpose, just very rarely. This will double up the counters they put on things. Shadow Sphere for a bit of trample. So they can make this into a 7/7 life-linking trampling Toph that draws them a card. Okay. You can hit me and gain the life, but I can also kill her and do some other stuff. GG. Ruby Daring Tracker. I've got some ramp here. I've got some recursion and not really removal for Ruby, but they're going to be ramping with their commander, who, it's just ramp in the command zone. That's kind of nice. It's convenient. Lanor Elf. I think I'll just set up the Overlord. See if I can get any value off it. Nice, a Grief. Mr. Bones against them. Yeah, I'm gonna drop this Breach the Multiverse because I'm fairly far from it. To scam Grief. And see what they have in hand. Exploration. Surprised you didn't play that in turn 1, but it's because they only have 1 land in hand. Sylvan Scrying, which gets them lands. Card draw, card draw. Well, this is a strange lineup here. I'm gonna hit Harmonize. Just their card draw. If they had, like, a big creature in hand, I could have dropped that for Emperor of Bones. Mishra's Research Desk can put some cards in exile for them to play, like Notvold Slumber Mound. Some land destruction. Yeah, is this Ruby land destruction? It's definitely got a lands theme, or it wouldn't have, like, exploration. But, like, you can put this in just ramp decks. But so far, I haven't seen any, like, major ramp targets. Am I stealing any faces? I'm hoping to steal some faces. If I steal Lana War Elf's face, I can tap for 1 green. Or I can just swing for 6. Fable the Mirror Breaker, that's a great card. I'm up to 5 here. I can hit the Mishra's research test so they can't unearth it, but I'd rather hit my grief. And then I'm holding. Yeah, since they got rid of Strip Mine, you certainly see less land destruction, but people were running land destruction before Strip Mine existed. I know this because, like, I had a Vivictus land destruction deck, and I've seen plenty of, oh, what's his name? Lord Windgrace. Or I should say Soul of Windgrace. Chandra, yeah, 6 mana Beacon of Hope, I think. That Chandra land destruction, seen that too. Hello, any faces to steal? This person has a Breach, which makes me wonder if this is a weird, like, Breach combo deck. I'm really not sure. I've seen Ruby before as just, like, Gruul Ramp or Gruul Aggro. This seems to be doing something else. Oh my god. Boop. Yeah! I have an ability! If I want it. You want to give me some Frostbite? Just a little Frost Nibble, maybe? Yeah, yeah, Ruby is like turn 1, maybe you get some ramp, and if you don't, turn 2 Ruby, turn 3, like, anything that ramps for 2, gets you 2 more lands, and then turn 3, you're like, bam, 6 drops or something. I'm going to swing with Ko. Field of Ruin, they're not Vold Slumber Mound. Not this. And I could go for, like, the Saw in Half, hitting Reflection and Ruby. Worn Power Stone, Ghost Vacuum. Because I got a 5/5. Guess I could munch a goose? Bones? Windswept Heath, getting them more just basic lands. There's nothing they can really clone here. They could, I guess, clone the Hydra. That's not that good. Make it X equals 5 and then copy it? I think they have enough mana for that. Yeah, with Ruby. X equals 4. Okay. Oh, right. It doesn't make a it makes a copy of the card. Nice token land. I'm not gonna block. I know you have the Frostbite. It's a non-creature. Yeah, because it doesn't keep the X. Goose. I guess I'm swinging in. Let's see what we get, Mr. Overlord of Baelmerk. Give me the goods. Bones. I managed to build, like, all lands. Ooh, so jazzy. I have all this graveyard hate in here. One day I'll match into some other graveyard decks with this. I've run into a few, just not right now. Toph, the first metal bender, animates artifacts by earthbending them, turning them into usually 2/2s to start that have some recursion, allowing you to repeatedly sacrifice or block with certain cards like Mindslaver. Yep, she lets you do infinite Mindslaver loops. She lets you do other stuff too, but that's the one I think of when I think of this Toph. Toph Stoff. Matic Vista. Probably starting with some green. They were making up their mind. No, white. Okay. I'll play Guardian Idol over Ornithopter Paradise. Look, I have artifacts. Yay. Maybe they have the Swords to Plowshares. They have a Yavimaya, which means that all of... Yeah, they did have a Swords. All of the lands they play that are artifacts will be able to tap for green, which is neat. Tanook, Memorial Ensign. That's a good landfall card. He also is getting sacrificed. Speed Brute Stalker, stalk this guy. Drop. Also, if I use Ko on a metal bent card or an earth bent artifact, it just goes back under their control. Hi, Toph! Hey, wait, that's other Toph. Oh, because they had a tapped land this turn. Yeah, they're leaving. That's fair. I guess I would have exiled the land and it just would have gone back under their control. Because hitting this Toph doesn't seem like it would do much for me. GG. Hilda of the Icy Crown. I haven't seen this commander in a long time. But I guess we got some new tap stuff down abilities. And if you tap things down, you can use Hilda's triggers to draw cards, put counters on things, or make elementals. There's a bunch of spells, mostly in blue and white, that tap down your opponent's stuff. The worst thing is when you're playing Hilda and your opponent never plays creatures. I remember that. I remember building and recording her. So I'll keep this. And I'll ramp. I don't actually have any creatures until Ko. Oh, Evangel. That is going to put an Evangel in their graveyard, which I might be able to steal with Necromancy later. Not that I really want to, because I don't have white mana. But imagine! I'll try to bring out Gonti. See if this just gets countered. Dwari Disruption! Yeah, I want to save the Cavern of Souls for Spirit, since, you know, it's my commander. And I want to show it until then. Okay, a Memory Lapse. Putting that back on top of my deck. And I'm just going right into... Nope. Yup. Gonti! Let me steal. Seal away. Icebind Pillar. Marius Call and Celestus. I'll take Seal away. That's a cool card. Charade of Numbing Depths. does not exist. I actually think Charade is like the cooler card. So because I killed this before it could be tapped, they don't get to draw. Yeah. Spirits. And get rid of that. Cool. It's just a little menacing guy. You can just tap it down. You can just tap it down. See what we steal. Mural! Ooh, that like stops all counter type spells. I'll exile Hilda and win the game. Gaming. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Brawl Stars. And thank you to everybody who put up with my face-stealing fun. I would say that the upside of this deck is its mono-black crime, and the downside of this deck is that I actually matched into a good number of non-creature decks, and also decks that only maybe ran like their commander out as a creature, or alternately were enchantment decks. This deck is no matter what not going to do that well against enchantments, because even though black has some enchantment removal, the commander doesn't do anything about it, and neither do most of the other cards in the deck. In fact, our best answers are going to be the ones that we steal. I'd say that this gaming is going to matter a lot, like based on your matchups. If you match into creature decks, you're gonna have a great time. You might even combine some really cool abilities. Like when I was testing, I was able to combine a Oracaslim, the green god, swinging in, activating, turning into a copy of that, and then with that trigger on the stack, turning Ko into a Scoot Swarm, because we could grab a land and use the land to trigger the Scoot Swarm, which copied the Ko, which gave us more triggers to exile our opponent's stuff. It was a really cool, just like, oh yeah, you can combine these abilities if you manage to steal them. The problem is getting to steal them, because a lot of the time, if you do manage to take a useful card from your opponent, they will leave. That's just how it is. Still a cool commander though, and mono black crime, kind of like with Wrench. Still fun to me. If you're looking for the deck list, you can find it in the description of the video. And if you would like to suggest a commander, especially an avatar commander, please do let me know what you would like to see, because, you know, we can go with Ko, but there's still more to go. Yeah, we have a lot of cool decks that I haven't brewed yet, but I think I've gotten through like 15 or so decks, which is pretty impressive. I might even make some standard Brawl versions of my favorites, things like Iroh, and make it more focused on lessons, because that could be really neat. But thank you all so much for watching, and have a brawlful day.